As I said, our client retention was actually up year over year. And I would say if you absent some anomalies we saw in the fourth quarter, which I'll talk about, we would have had a fabulous retention year. So I think the value proposition we're delivering is fine. What we saw in the fourth quarter, soon after Liberation Day, was a spike in bankruptcies and financial distress in the micro segment. Think entrepreneurs,
sure,
kind of small businesses. Now, what I will tell you, that's not uncommon when we see an external shock. People just kind of throw it in. The other thing that often in that time of year can happen is you have a lot of seasonal businesses, think landscapers, lawn people, that all of a sudden are about ready to get back into business. They may look out in the future and say, you know what, I'm not going to do it this year, and they shut down their business. So I'm not overly alarmed by that. When you look at our index in May, we saw good, moderate growth. We see no signs of recession. And Jim, next week, we're going to announce June, but I'm going to give you an early read. I think what you're going to see in June is exactly the same thing. Moderate and stable growth in small businesses, continued deceleration in wage inflation. Look, I think there's a lot of optimism in small businesses right now. What they're waiting for is clarity.
Right.
And I think if we can get some clarity on taxes, clarity on tariffs, I think that there's going to be a lot of optimism and really propel growth in small businesses going into the rest of the year.
With your connections at the Fed, because of the work you do, you're sharing this four-year low 2.77 wage inflation number, right? Because that's a number that would make the president say, hey, listen, here's a fact about why you should cut. Not just jawbone, but here's a fact.
Yeah, I think, Jim, look, I think the Fed chair made some comments in Congress yesterday or 2 days ago. I've kind of lost track with time. But I think he made some comments relative to the fact that one of the challenges the Fed has right now is they look at the underlying data and probably have some things to be pleased about. And then they have this uncertainty of what are the impacts or how is the whole tariff thing going to resolve itself. So there creates a degree of, well, should we move or should we not move? As I said, clarity is important. That's one of the things we decided to do with our integration with Paycor. We decided, let's move, because what we couldn't have for our employees, our clients, and our strategic partners was a lack of clarity. So we got it all out of the way in the fourth quarter so that they had clarity going into this fiscal year. I would give some advice to our policymakers. Let's bring some more clarity to the situation, and I think we'll see entrepreneurs take off.
I have advice.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on X. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadMentions. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.